Alright, GladrapChannel here with Wayne from BBQ War. No, I got it wrong.
No, you got it right.
BBQ War, and then we got Caleb from
Big Tent Meat Revival.
That's right. I couldn't remember the whole thing.
Big
Tent Meat Revival. So tomorrow's the whole function is to raise money for your event. Can you just tell us a little bit more about what's happening? I
won the Jack Daniel's National Barbecue Championship and got an invite to Kansas City in America to the World Champs. The event is called the American Royal World Series of Barbecue. At this event there's 500 teams from America and around the world, and they're all grand champions. So when you go there, you're competing against top teams, just not any old teams. So there's two teams coming from New Zealand, myself, and in order to make it a bit more Kiwi, I thought I'd bring along my friends, BBQ War, and Team BBQ War, and put a team together and make it sort of a New Zealand contingent and go over there and hopefully kick some backside.
So let me get this straight. So you both are teaming up, but for tomorrow you're not teaming up. You're fighting each other.
Yeah. Well, we just thought in order to get the world champs, what should we do? And we're both big boys, and I thought, man, it's time we just dropped a few kilos, man. So why don't we do a big fight night, drop a few pounds, a few kilos, have some fun, put on an event, raise some money, and it's just holistically good for everyone. So that's what we've done. So we've been training, and we thought we'd face off against each other. Wayne the Tank versus Caleb the Tongan Torpedo, and here we are weighing in, and it's been good.
So what's the rules tomorrow for the fight? No headshots, no hard shots.
No, it's a proper fight, mate.
Nah,
it all goes.
Is it hard to fight your mate? Like, you know, like
it is a bit weird.
It is a bit strange, yeah, but
it is a bit weird.
Can you get
smacked in the head, eh?
Yeah. You're getting smacked in the head. I'm not looking forward to that, but look, we're doing it. I mean, we've had 12 weeks to think about this, and you know, a few people have dropped out to different reasons, but it is hard to overcome, but it's a good fear to overcome. So we're both looking forward to it. It's been good for both of our healths, and our main cause is our dream to get to our dream event, which is the Royal. And which other way can you raise a decent amount of money in a quick amount of time? And if it means maybe getting a couple punches here and there, that's what you got to do.
So you're a champion as well, right? At the barbecue, you're on your own, right?
Yeah, I won a GC in the last round of Jack Daniel's series.
So what is this? Is this an eating competition? Is it? Are you making the actual food?
It's a low and slow American barbecue competition that is sponsored by Jack Daniel's. There were 7-8 rounds. In order to get a score, you had to do 3. I ended up doing 5. Did you do most of them?
Yeah, I done
all
7.
Of them, mate?
Yeah, I done 7 rounds.
And then,
what are you doing exactly? Like
we're cooking on these big barbecue pits, and we're cooking pork shoulders, ribs, chicken, and beef. And usually guys cook brisket or short ribs. So we're cooking food. There are judges that come in, they judge our food, taste it, and you get a score. And there are rules all around it, based around it, the way you cook, what fuel you use. It's all charcoal or wood. There's no gas allowed. And so we will spend you know 13 hours cooking through the night to present food to the judges all through the night.
Are the Kiwis pretty good at this competition? Because you know the Kiwis are known for their barbecues, right? Or are they?
It's quite a new thing in New Zealand. It's really only been going for the last 2 years. It started with the first one called Meat Stock, and that was an Australian barbecue alliance, came to New Zealand, bought a series they already had to New Zealand, and now we've got our own series called the New Zealand Barbecue Alliance. So we've branched off on our own now after the 2nd year of doing it. And then Jack Daniel's jumped in, and they started their own individual series. That's where we had the 7 series that Caleb won. So he won that New Zealand, the overall champion for that whole thing. So you're basically judged on your best 3 results. So obviously Caleb had the best 3 results.
Kiwis are pretty good at it.
Yeah, that's what I want
to give you an example. Australia's been going how many years with low and slow? 5 or 6 years?
5 or 6 years.
So they've been way ahead of us. We really kicked into this beginning of last year, or maybe we're talking 2 years ago. Things really started to develop with this stuff. And in the last meat stock, which was February, in the top 20, the majority were Kiwi teams, and there were a lot of Aussie teams that came over. So the Kiwi teams are caught right up, and we are cooking some seriously good food. And you know, it's recognised. We've all got sponsors, and Wayne's sponsored, one of his key sponsors, Samba Charcoal, sponsored by Kingsford, and these guys recognise that this is it's a growing industry in New Zealand. Our Pitmaster page, NZ Barbecue Pitmaster, is the fastest growing Facebook page in New Zealand. It's up to 24,000 members, and it's just guys and girls, Kiwis, just wanting to find out how to cook really amazing meat. And when you're cooking it low at 121 degrees Celsius, 250 Fahrenheit, for such a long time, it just comes out with the most unbelievable tasting, succulent, fall apart meat. Like it's just beautiful. And anyone that's a foodie, I mean, a lot of my friends who are foodies have come around home, they have a feed, they are hooked, straight away hooked. They're unbelievable.
It's very addictive. I will say that as well. Like, you wouldn't believe. It might sound crazy to an outside person. You know, an average, say, barbecue on a trailer these days.
Yeah.
You're looking at around anywhere from, you know, 9,000 up to, like the Jack Daniels trailers, $30,000. And you might think, oh, only a few corporate companies might own these. You'll be really surprised how many teams now are spending on average of probably $5,000 on a barbecue.
Jesus.
Which, you know, 2 years ago, people would have thought you were crazy, but now it's pretty the norm now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the norm. And it's all to do, I mean, people just get excited about the flavour. People get excited about the process of cooking this meat, because there's a real science to it.
Yeah.
You know, they get into it and they go, what wood are we smoking with? What rubs have we got? Where can we get some more? How can we get this stuff? Are we cooking with charcoal? What type of charcoal are we using? Briquettes or lump? Or are we going to do a fire, just constantly stoke it? People are just into it. And I think one of the cool things, you probably bit like this as well, like one of the cool things about this is life is real busy, right? Super busy. You're always running around doing stuff. Low and slow barbecue slows everything down. There's no shortcut to it. It's a slow process. You've got Saturday, you light the fire, you get into it, you're looking after your meat, you invite your friends round earlier and just come round, I'm going to be cooking all day. You sit down, you have a couple of beers, you're just chatting away, you're cooking this meat, and when it's ready, it's ready. And when it's ready, oh man, people are going, all the time going, this is seriously the best meat I've ever tasted. Like, they just cannot believe how good it is. And that, you know, there's not many things that like slow you down, but man, low and slow barbecue, you know, reconnecting with people a lot more, right? Oh, more time with families and friends. And
I was going to say the community and barbecue in the last 2 years are probably the nicest, best people I've met in my whole life. In 45 years, I've probably met the nicest people in the last 2 years through barbecue. And all the guys in barbecue, like you. But seriously, all the guys in barbecue are outstanding.
Good people, man.
They're unbelievable
from
people.
all over the country.
And even when you go overseas, it's like you're a brother. And you wouldn't believe what it's like. It's like nothing I've ever been involved in.
Is it because they're detached from all the YouTube and the internet? And
no, there's lots of guys. People have got YouTube channels. We do a lot of stuff on social media, just talking about food. It's just one of those things that, like, people are just really passionate about it. We just got our site allocated for in America, in Kansas City. You know, within a day, the team that's next to us from America, from California, Grand Champion team, is emailing me going, hey, is there anything that you need for your site? You're coming all the way from New Zealand. Hey, can we help you out? We're a GMG team. We've got some gear if you need it. Let us know what you need, mate. Unbelievable, just too cool.
They don't know us from a bar of soap.
Great people.
How'd you guys get into it? Like, did you just start like barbecuing?
Everyone's got to eat, man. Summer times in New Zealand, people love being outdoors, right? So people love cooking. And somewhere along the line, everyone's tasted better barbecue. And somewhere along the line, I tasted better. I tried someone's barbecue that had been cooking over coals, and I thought, wow, this the flavour in just a normal grill, cooking over it, the flavour in this food just beats gas. You just can't. There's no comparison. Can't even compare it. And that was 7 years ago. Just learning. 8 years ago, learning to cook over coals. The low and slow. Now that was taking it to another level. So that for me, it started meat stock last year, January.
Was it a similar story for you as well?
Yeah, well, it started for me 2 years ago. It was one of my friends from Australia who's into barbecue in a big way. Actually, these guys here.
Aussie Pit Boys.
Aussie Pit Boys. My mate Trevor from there, we were just friends, and he said he was coming to New Zealand to do a barbecue competition. And I'll be dead honest with you, when he said low and slow, I didn't even know what he was talking about. So I googled it, and I came up with a couple of cookers barbecues for sale. And I thought, how crazy is this? 7,000 for a barbecue? Are you joking? I ended up making one, got hooked, and the rest is really just
out of beer kegs.
Out of beer kegs. Kiwi ingenuity, just made it what I could afford. And I mean, look how crazy it is. In that short period of time, I've met Caleb. We're going to America as mates, as a team. We're doing a boxing match. I've built this big crazy tank. We've sent that to America. It's a pretty wild ride for something that's happened in such a short period of time.
You know, one of the guys fighting tomorrow, Ricky, Taiala, I met Ricky in a butchery store. He walks in, I'm there, it was one of my sponsors, Neat Meats in Ponsonby. Great guys. Ricky walks in, picks a brisket, walks up the counter, I go, hey bro, do you know how to cook that? And he goes, oh no, not really. The next 45 minutes I'm there just showing him what to do on a barbecue, just with pen and paper, laying it all out, connecting with him on Facebook. It's just unreal. Like, we sit around, a bunch of guys go, you know, we would have never met each other or connected if it wasn't for food and for barbecue. And a lot of these guys there, you know, we've got different friend circles. Wouldn't have met these guys if it wasn't for barbecue. We're just all really passionate about cooking meat low and slow. We're passionate about that process, getting it right, because when you nail it, it is a process, it's hard to get it right. Man, shucks. Like my first brisket, you remember your first brisket?
Yeah. I used it as a frisbee.
I'm still using mine as a doormat.
Do you get nervous when you go for the, I mean, when you make it to Kansas? Is it kind of a nerve-wracking experience? Or?
Nah, I love it.
No,
Can't wait.
We're looking forward to it, and we're going to be fine.
I'm more nervous about the fight. You nervous?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Yeah. Where's your nerves? Just here?
Everywhere, mate. Everywhere.
Is there any barbecue slang that we can use? You're gonna roast him? You know, that's a good one.
Oh, roast him?
Yeah.
We don't like to say spit roasting. That sounds a bit.
Yeah.
Is that X-rated?
Yeah.
So spit roasting.
I'm trying to think of some barbecue slang. You know, I'm gonna.
Oh, we don't want to say low and slow either.
I'll be throwing the chicken wing. But elbows aren't allowed, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, no elbows.
That's true.
No chicken wings.
You're gonna lay him across the barbie? No. I don't know. I can't think of something.
Yeah, across the barbie. What sites have you been watching?
I don't know.
Let's get our grill on.
Yeah. Grillers in the mist.
There's a smoke machine. I don't know.
No, I think it's fascinating. You know, it feels like a real man. You know, cooking outdoors. You know, on a grill.
Very primal.
Yeah.
It's going back to our roots, right? And you know, the thing about barbecue, it doesn't matter what culture you're from, right? Fire, charcoal, wood, cooking over that, every culture's done it.
I was just going to say, how relaxing is it when you've got a fire going? How relaxed do you always feel? You feel warm straight away, even if it's cold outside and a fire's going, there's something that draws you to a fire. The other thing is, the most important thing, is things like brisket and things like beef cheek and stuff like that. Beef cheek, brisket, I mean, these were things years ago people used to feed to dogs.
That's right.
They honestly fed to pets. Butchers used to give away beef cheeks. They used to give away brisket. You couldn't do anything with it. It was like a doormat because there was no one over here. Like my parents, even when I was younger, growing up with that type of food. How did you cook that stuff before then?
Well, the thing is, American low and slow barbecues from the south, right? It was really originated by the slaves because the rich cotton farmers would take the cheap cuts of meat that they want to eat and they'd just, give them to the slaves.
Like soul food.
Yeah. Soul food. And the slaves would take those cheap cuts and they cook them low and slow and smoke them, and then just most amazing. And that's where it comes from. So what we're cooking is a derivative from there. It's soul food, and it takes time. You put a lot of love into it. You respect this piece of meat, and to be honest, it ain't cheap cuts anymore. A lot of those cuts, man, they're all really expensive now. But the whole philosophy and that whole process behind it is incredibly enjoyable, and it's quite neat to think that those are the roots. That's where it's come from. There's something cool in that, you know,
like an evolution.
And just sort of, you know, honouring, taking something and just honouring it, treating it with respect, and then having something incredibly delicious afterwards. So, yeah, man, it's good.
Well, I just want to say all the best for your fight tomorrow.
Sweet. Cheers.
And after that, man, all the best for the competition in Kansas.
Yeah, looking forward to it, man.
Looking forward to the victory, man.
Get on our page if you like what we do. Big Ten Meat Revival. We're on Facebook. Check us out. And ask any questions. There's also the NZ Barbecue Pitmaster page that you can jump on board if you want to know more about it. Wayne's team, Team BBQ War. Check out his team, give him some likes, and yeah, see you guys again.
Thanks man. Thanks, Caleb. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, buddy.